Hello and welcome to another video. In this video we're going to be working on append characters to a string to make it a subsequence. And in this one you're given two strings s and t consisting of lowercase English letters. And you want to return the minimum number of characters that need to be appended to the end of s such that t becomes a subsequence of s. A subsequence of a string can be derived from another string by deleting some or no characters without changing the order of the remaining characters. So here we have this example, I guess. So you can append ding to the end of s, I guess. So let's see. Yeah, so if we append ding here, then we'll have it. So we'll have co and then ding. So you can kind of see from this picture what's going on here. So essentially, the way this is going to work is you can kind of like take a greedy match. So what you can say is like, if we're on a character of t that we're looking for example, a c, if it's in S, the first match, we'll just take that. So like here we have a match. Now we're looking for the O, so here we have a match. And we're missing this whole ding thing. And it's not like, we can't take this I because there has to be a D before. So as long as there's this sequence somewhere in this string, in this order, we can take that. Which means if there's a C anywhere, we just take the first one we find. Because the first one we find, like let's say there's a C here and then there's some C's down the road, the first one we find is guaranteed to have these things, like if these things exist at all, then they will be behind the first one if they're behind future ones, right? Like if we have like C here, C here, C here, and then some O-ding, if there is the O-ding, it's going to be behind this if it's behind these two. Because like let's say it's in here. If we didn't take this C, if we said let's go for this one, then we would miss it. So essentially, when you do these matches, you kind of just take the greedy first character. So we have the CO and the CO, but we need to have the ding. So let's take a look at the next example. So here we have a match here. And then that's all we need, so we're done. And here we need A, B, C, D, E, but we only have a Z, so we basically just need to add on the whole thing. So once again, let's just go through two strings really quickly. So let's say we have one string. And there's an easy problem called like is subsequence or something, so you could do that, and that's basically this, and then you just figure out how many characters you have left. So let's say we have, like, this is our string A, B, C, D, E, F, G, something like this. So this is a string S, and then we have a string T, and let's make the string T shorter. So let's say we have a string like this, and let's say it's like A, D, G, G, or something, G, something like this. So what we're going to do, this is really easy actually, once you kind of figure out that you just take the first character available. So like I said, as soon as there's a match, you just say like, we're going to use that character. Because if there's an A here and there's an A further down the road, it's always best to take the first one. Because like I said, if there's an A here and an A here, but what if a D is over here and not further? So you can always take the first one and delete future A's to have this sequence. So here we have an A, so we're going to say, okay, we're going to take this A. Now we're going to move to the next letter here, and then we're going to move to the next letter here. Whoops, and let's try to move it. There we go. So is this a match? No. So we're looking for a D, and until we find it, we're just going to keep moving down. So here we have a match. So we're saying, okay, we're going to take this letter too. And every time we get a match, we just update this pointer. So now we're looking for a G. So we're going to nothing, nothing. And here we have a G. So we have another match. And then we're going to move down to the next letter we're looking for. And now we're not going to find anything else. So essentially, we found A, D, G. And now we need two more Gs. So that's kind of the problem, is you basically just look for how many matches you have. And then whatever index you're on, that's how many letters you need to add on. So in this case, we need two more letters, so we would just add two G's here. And that's basically all there is. So to sum up once again, you just start at the start of both of them. You traverse string S. Anytime there's a match, you move to the next character of T. You always take the match. You just greedily take it. It's always best to take the first one possible. And like I said, because like if an A is here or somewhere here, it's always best to take the first one possible. And once you understand that, the problem is really easy. And then if there is a match, you just move this down and you keep traversing down this whole string. And then if you traverse down this whole string at any point, then you just return 0. And if you didn't, then you just return however many characters you're missing. So it's basically, you just check, is T a subsequence of S? If it's not, whatever character you're on, like let's say you're on this character, then you need 3 more and so on and so on. So a really easy problem once you understand that. And I don't think it's like super hard to understand because the is subsequence is a common easy problem. So let's code that. So what we need is we need an index in t that we're currently on. So we'll call that like t index or something, and we'll make it 0. And then we need to traverse down s. So we can say for int I equals 0, I is less than this length. So we'll say if the character is a match, we'll move t index, and we also do need to check. So we want to make sure we're not out of bounds. So let's say this was not a d g g g, this was a b c d e. What would happen then is after you get through this, you're going to be here, and here you're out of bounds. So we'll say after every match, if we're out of bounds on t, we'll return 0, and if we're not, we'll keep going. So we can say if s character at the index I equals t character at the current index we're looking for, which is t index, then we will increase t, or t index. And if t index is the length of t, then we just return 0 because we're out of bounds. So t index equals t length, return 0. Otherwise, just keep doing this. And then finally, when we're done with this loop, if we're not here, if we didn't get this, then we just have to figure out how many letters we have left. And the letters we have left is just length of t minus the t index. And just to show that really quickly, so let's say we're on, so here the length of t is 5. So this would be 5 letters left, 4 letters left, 3 letters left, 2 letters left. So pretty easy to come up with, right? Because like if this is 5, 5 minus 2, we have 3 letters left and so on. So for every index you move up, you have 1 less letter left. Hopefully that makes sense. So we just return the difference that we have left, and that's how many you need to add. So very easy problem. Kind of closer to an easy once you understand that. And there we go. Didn't really use any extra space or anything too. So time. So essentially what we're doing is we are traversing s. I don't think this is s plus t, because if t is longer than s, we're going to get the rest of the thing we need in O of 1 time. So let's say, for example, that s just happens to be this guy, and t is some long string. So what happens is we're going to traverse through s, we'll be done, and then on t we'll be over here, and then we can get the rest of this in O of 1. So we're basically just traversing through s. So I think the answer just depends on s, not on t. So I don't think it's going to be like s plus t. Worst case scenario will be O of s. And you might return early if you're done with t earlier, but I think it's going to be O of s space. So we just have these two, we just have this t index, and that's it. And in the end, like a loop. So yeah. So pretty easy problem. The main thing, like I said, to recognize for a subsequence, always take the first match that's possible. That's the best one. And that's pretty much it. So hopefully you liked this video. If you did, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.